Hey everybody, so in this video we are going to be finding tangent of 2 theta given quadrant restrictions. So in the problem it says if sine of theta is negative 1/3 and our reference angle is in between pi and 3 pi halves, find tangent of 2 theta. So remember here, when they're bounding our quadrants here, they're telling you which quadrant your reference angle is in. So if I'm in between pi and 3 pi halves, then I'm going to be here in quadrant 3. So I'll go ahead and draw my triangle here. And then I'll place my reference angle by the origin. Now in the problem they tell us sine is negative 1/3. Well, this is very helpful because sine is the opposite over the hypotenuse. So we'll put a 1 on our opposite leg and a 3 by the hypotenuse. Now what you want to remember in quadrant 3, your x's and your y values are negative. So this 1 should be negative. And now to fill out our double angle identity, we need the ratio for tangent. And here tangent is the opposite over the adjacent. So here I have opposite, I'm missing the adjacent leg. So I'm going to need to use Pythagorean's theorem to find that. So I'll set that up and say my missing leg plus negative 1 squared should equal my hypotenuse squared. So I'll move over that value of the negative 1, and then to isolate the x squared, I'll take the square root. So this is going to be the square root of 9 minus 1, which is going to give us the square root of 8. Now remember, we're in quadrant 3. This is technically an x value, so that means that this square root of 8 should be negative. Now that I have the opposite and the adjacent leg, I'll come over here and I'm ready to start filling in my ratios. So tangent is the opposite over the adjacent. So if I come over here to my reference angle, that's the same as saying negative 1 over negative 8, which is a positive ratio, which is why it's positive here. And then in the bottom, you use the same ratio, we just square it. So to simplify here, I'm going to say 2 times 1 is 2 over the square root of 8, and then this is being divided by 1 minus 1 over the square root of 8 quantity squared. So here 1 squared is 1 and the square root of 8 squared is just 8. So this is 1 minus 1/8, which is how we got the 7/8 here. Now the reason that I change it from the line notation of division to this kind of traditional division symbol is because it's very easy to see your two fractions and to know which ones that you should flip when you multiply by the reciprocal. So there's a little saying, keep, change, and flip. So we'll keep the first fraction, change it to multiplication, and then flip the second. So 2 times 8 is going to give us 16, and 7 times the square root of 8 will give us 7 root 8. Now, depending on your teacher's preference, you can leave the answer like this because it is numerically accurate, or your teacher may want you to rationalize, in which case we would multiply by the square root of 8 over the square root of 8, and that would simplify to be 4 root 2 all over 7. All right, that's going to be it for this video. I hope that you found this example helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and we'll see you all in the next video.